Oh, it doesn't work?
7K Dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be looking at Chloe and I'll be using her in Accessory Raid and Item Raid. But before that, we'll be looking at her skill set for a little while. For her passive, she reduces magic damage received by all allies by 40%. This basically is a lesser percentage than what Espada can provide you. But because of her other effects in her other skills, she is actually pretty usable, I would say. Okay, if you don't have, Espada, or if you don't even have a build Rachel or Amelia, okay, she can actually be a suitable replacement for Amelia. And she also decreases piercing damage for all allies. So this actually is the same passive that Hyong gets on her Awakened passive. Okay, so she actually covers that as well. So if you don't have a Hyong, well, you can use Chloe. But would I suggest that you use Chloe only in place of all the other heroes? I would say no, because Hyong can heal, Rachel has her crit damage and lethal damage buff. So for her cleaning time, she actually combines the benefits of what Phoenix and Blaze can do from Rachel into one skill. So you only have to queue for one skill and you get all the 3 debuffs up on the enemy, which is very convenient, especially if you want to save time. And this may be very good if you want to set up your auto skill queue. And for her Kitty Dance, she actually increases skill cooldown by 70 seconds. This alone can lock down Stormwing, and also she decreases enemy counter rate by 60%. Now this is pretty useful if you think about it, because the raid bosses do a lot of counter attacks. And she also helps to reduce awakening gauge, which is what Rachel's Blaze will do. So basically she covers for all of Rachel's skills already. And lastly, for her awakened skill, I will actually explain this in the demo itself. We'll be looking at item raid first. So this is my team. I've replaced Amelia with Chloe, and these are my Chloe equips. I've basically given her double speed. For jewels, the most important thing is skill cooldown and cooldown increase immunity, because you are fighting Stormwing, and if Stormwing casts his cooldown increase on your Chloe, then you will not be able to chain your cooldown increase skill on him. So that's not very ideal, okay? Traits really don't matter. I didn't have any traits on my Chloe at all, and I think that is also a benefit because new players don't really have the luxury to invest in traits. So that's a good thing. Exclusive item is a must because she gives a lot of passive buffs for your team, so that's something you want to have. And with that, we'll proceed into the run. First skill you need to cast is Chloe's top skill. This inflicts the skill cooldown on Stormwing, and I think you cannot afford to use any other skill because you want to lock down Stormwing badly from the start, right? After this, you can cast her bottom skill, but in this case I left it on auto and they actually use her awakened skill first, but it's fine because Stormwing is still on cooldown. So the awakened skill gives your whole team debuff immunity, which is great, and also cleanses in case you get any electrify on you. Rachel is set up, Chloe has done her setting up. From here on, it is really just to take note of the cooldown of Stormwing. If it is nearing the 20s, you should be casting Chloe's top skill again, okay? After that, queue with Shane and Hyong's buffs respectively. Then when Shane's awakened skill is up, make sure Hyong's buff is already active on her. This will ensure that Shane will utilize Hyong's buff to the maximum amount, and unfortunately my Shane actually went to do a normal attack here, so it actually used up some of the buff. But not to worry, if your Shane is not so enthusiastic, then I think everything will be fine.
Now, the darkness consumes you. Let me hear your screams!
I think Shane's damage in Stormwing is pretty decent. Okay, you must have Eileen on your team, you must have Rachel's awakened passive up, and again, take note, once the cooldown of Stormwing is in the 20s and when Chloe's skill is ready, you have to cast it in order to lock him down. And if you realize something, even though Chloe reduces the Stormwing's counter rate by 60%, he is still countering. And take note, I do have my masteries on that reduces 60% of counter rate from the enemy. So I'm reducing 120% counter rate and the Stormwing is still countering. So this is something that I don't think is very useful even though Chloe has it. If she would completely remove that counter, I think it will make so much more sense. When Stormwing counters, he actually reduces his cooldown by 10 seconds, right? So he actually has the ability to remove all the cooldown increases that Chloe inflicts on him. And in that case, he actually used his skill just now. And that is not something you want. So if there is a chance, you will want to push for Chloe's cooldown increase continuously so that he will be kept away from using his skill. Because if you're going into this item raid when you are poorly equipped and you actually let Stormwind use his skill, then I think you're gonna be in a lot of trouble because Stormwind is gonna penetrate through all your shields, right? So that is something you just need to take note all the time. So the run is pretty short, I would say. I think it could have been much faster. And I got this crap reward. I have no words for this. I think everyone is frustrated enough. But we are moving on to accessory raid right here. First skill is not to cast the cooldown because cooldown doesn't work here like I showed you in the intro, right? So you want to use cleaning time. This actually gets all 3 debuffs on Pascal, which is great. The next thing you want to do is to cast Chloe's awakening skill. Another reason why you want to give Chloe speed is because she can get her awaken skill earlier. And you see that I casted the awaken skill as a cleansing move to clean up the bleed, otherwise this bleed amplification is gonna kill me very badly. Okay, and that is the good thing about Chloe here. Now that she gives your whole team 2 turns of buff immunity, you can be sure that nothing, no bleed, no poison, because she has that in her passive, will affect your team anymore. So it kind of works the same way as Amelia, except that Chloe is a much more accessible hero compared to Amelia because she is a normal hero and she is a light hero. And I'm sure a lot of players will have a lot of light elements lying around, so I think that is a good thing. And in that case, new players can actually save on special hero selectors by not choosing Amelia because Chloe is going to come in for this role in raid.
Now. The darkness consumes you.
And I think beyond that is really just spamming Shane's skills with Hyung's buff. Make sure that you always recast Hyung's buff in order to get maximum damage output from Shane. And besides that, I don't think there is going to be much issue with this raid at this point.
Let me hear your screams! You can enjoy it.
An opportunity. An opportunity. The pure light. Please give us power.
Your screams! Darkness Let me hear your screams! You can endure it.
There will be some cases whereby Pascal still does quite a bit of damage on you, and that is when you should heal with Hyung's healing. I don't think I had to heal at this point, but I'm just healing for fun because nothing else is good to be used.
The pure light. Please give us power.
The run is pretty long. If I'm not wrong, this run actually lasted about the same time as my previous team with Amelia. So I think there's not much difference, except that it just makes it easier for newer players because Chloe is really much more accessible than Amelia. Just take note that Chloe's buffs only last for 2 turns. So this is where things can be tricky. If you do see the blinking symbol and you're not close to killing Pascal, you will want to recast it. That is where she pales in comparison to Rachel because Rachel actually has 3 turns for all her debuffs. But I think that's fine as long as you don't drag out the run too much with a lot of speed attacks. So you can actually preserve the turn by casting random skills like the heal I just did instead of letting the speed attacks go by, okay? So hopefully this video shed light on how Chloe performs in raid, and hopefully if you have difficulty in the higher levels of raid, Chloe will help you to be able to clear those levels much easier without using Amelia as a special hero. So if you found this video useful, do give it a like and do subscribe to my channel. I'll be back very soon with Sylvia's review. Thank you so much and see you!